last 3 episodes, we've gone over every customizable method in the RESTAdapter that comes with Ember Data. However, that's not the only adapter that comes with Ember Data. There's also the JSONAPIadapter, and there used to be the ActiveModelAdapter, although that is now in an add-on instead of as part of Ember Data. So we'll go over those and discover the differences between the RESTAdapter and these other 2 commonly used adapters. To start us off, here's the app that we've been using to show the routes that are given by the various methods for an adapter. Here we have the RESTAdapter, and we're using the model taco, and we'll see that it camel cases it and pluralizes it. And then for these sets of methods, we have post, put, delete, and then forgets. If we change this from the RESTAdapter to the JSONAPIadapter, then we'll notice that it does kebab case instead of camel case, and it's changed this put to a patch. Let's go ahead and see how it does that. So here we have the JSONAPIadapter in Ember Data. We'll see that it extends the RESTAdapter, and then it makes it so, unless you specify otherwise, it'll use the JSON API serializer. Then it messes with AJAX options. We didn't go over these last time because it's a private method, and we went over all the public methods. But what this does, first it calls the default AJAX options that we have in the RESTAdapter, and then it changes the content type to something that JSON API expects, and then it adds a request header before sending. This construct may look a little confusing, but it's basically taking the before send method, setting it somewhere else, adding something to the new one, and then calling the old version of before send. So it's like calling super, but on a method instead of a class. And then it just returns the hash. So coalesce find request, this is the same as in RESTAdapter. It's just put in there, I guess, for emphasis. And then find many, the difference here is that instead of, here we'll see the find many, it puts the IDs as an array in the data hash. And here it's in the data hash, but also under filter, and then the IDs aren't in an array, they're in a string joined by a comma. So once again, just little things that JSON API expects to be different. Then path for type is something that, this is the thing that we saw earlier. It dasherizes it instead of having it camel case, and then it pluralizes it just like it did in the RESTAdapter. Then finally, update record is largely the same thing as the update record in RESTAdapter, but it's patch instead of put. And as you can see by this comment, this is unfortunately still the best way to override an HTTP verb, even though it's repeating these 5 lines. And those are all the changes that we need to make to the adapter in order to have JSON API. Of course, when we get to serializer, there's going to be a lot more changes than that. So get ready. All right, so that was JSONAPIadapter. Let's look at the ActiveModelAdapter. And we've imported this from the add-on since in Ember Data 2.0, it's been moved to an add-on. Here we see that it has underscore or snake case instead of dasherized or camel case, and we're back to having a put instead of a patch. The ActiveModelAdapter is even simpler of a change than the JSONAPIadapter. Of course, you have your default serializer, which is ActiveModel, and that's where most of the changes are going to be happening. Ones that happen in the adapter itself are path for type, which it decamalizes it, and then it underscores it, and then it pluralizes it. So that's how we get this. And then when you're handling the response, it checks is invalid first, and then it handles those errors differently. And so that wraps up our series on Ember Data adapters. In the next set of episodes, we'll be going over Ember Data serializers and how you can use and customize those, as well as find our way around the default ones that are available. All right, I'll see you then.